It's just an email being sent, and
Crazy.
yeah, so not sure what that is. I'm at the point now that I just want my money back. I want to send this Apple Mac back wherever it came from and just get my money back so I can invest it in a Microsoft computer. Just like gone on YouTube, to give your brain some new food. Today, I'm not really in a good mood. It's a Sunday, usually Sunday is a chill day for me, but I had to come on my channel and vent because of Apple and its products. Well, not products. I've had Apple iPhones over the years, never really had much issues with them, but I've recently bought my first Apple iMac, and ever since I've bought that iMac, it's just been problem after problem after problem. I've had the iMac now for approximately 5 weeks, and I've never had a day with that iMac where an issue did not occur. I bought the Apple Mac for my office work, my daily business, and I also bought a Apple Mac because it was recommended to me to be a better computer for video editing, and I do a lot of videos on YouTube, on this channel, and on the channel for me and my wife, which is just a leisure channel. So I got an Apple Mac with all the works, everything that you can think of, I got it. I had up to 1 terabyte of hard drive, and I knew that I was gonna upgrade the 8 gigabytes of RAM that it comes with, because buying more RAM from Apple is usually arm and a leg in cash. For example, I bought 64 gig additional RAM from a retail store here in Switzerland, and I paid 350, while if I was supposed to buy that from Apple, I would have to pay 1200. So I bought this Apple Mac, and this Apple Mac came about 5 weeks ago, and ever since I bought the Apple Mac, the screen has been flickering and sometimes it just blanks out. After experiencing this blackout system, I went online to see if anyone else has experienced this, and it seemed like it's common with Apple Macs. So I kind of like follow the procedures that was recommended online, turn it off, wait a minute, turn it back on, and it usually comes back on. That kept happening, it just never stopped, and despite what I'm doing with the Mac, I could just be writing a letter, I could just be responding to an email, I could be using Final Cut Pro. It doesn't matter what I'm doing. After a while, on its own, it just starts flickering, freezes up, it's crazy, and then it just blacks out. So this introduced me to Apple support, and I started contacting Apple support. So I started to contact Apple support about a week after having the computer. Until now, I must have contacted Apple support about 50 times. They give you all these case numbers and reference numbers and call back and try this and try that and try this and try that. When I first explained the problem, they first gave me little options. Try to reinstall Mac OS. So they told me how to do that. Option Command R did that. That didn't work. Try that a couple times. Then one of the advisors says, maybe you need more RAM. I say, maybe and maybe not. Why? Because before buying this Mac, I still have a HP Microsoft computer, and I've had that Microsoft computer since 2014 or 2013, and it still works until today, and it only has 8 gigabytes of RAM. Never had a problem with my Microsoft computer, and I paid at the time maybe about 1,400 Swiss francs for that computer. And now I've paid 2,450 plus francs for this Apple Mac. And it has been a headache. Not only that I've spent 2,450 plus francs for the Apple Mac, I actually took the advice of this Apple rep and went out and buy 64 more gigs of RAM, thinking that would solve the problem, only to find out that the problem still exists. The problem, it doesn't even still exist. The problem got worse because after flickering and freezing up as it usually does and blanking out, this time it decides that it's just not gonna come back on. And it's Sunday. It's about 11 o'clock. I've been up since 8 because the last correspondence that I had last night, I was told that an Apple representative would be calling me today, this morning at 9. They called me at 8. And I asked specifically that they call me, all my conversation has been in English. Yes, I live in Switzerland where they speak German, French, and Italian, but all my conversation on Apple Chat, the 50 plus times that I've been there, has been in English. A person called me and they were speaking German. I live here, I speak some German, but I want to make sure that everything that is being said and everything that's hearing is accurate, so I asked to speak to someone who speaks English. That person had to call me back. Okay, it didn't take long. It was about 15-20 minutes that person called. I'm at the point now that I just want my money back. I want to send this Apple Mac back to wherever it comes from, wherever it came from, and just get my money back so I can invest it in a Microsoft computer. Apple Mac is whack, overrated, it's overpriced, and it delivers underperformance. I'm just annoyed right now. You know, my super strength is my writing. I'm gonna definitely pen a review about Apple. I'll just tell anyone that asks me what I think of Apple Mac. Do not buy it. It's a headache. And to invest thousands of dollars or thousands of francs only to be left with a headache on a runaround, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. I will vouch for Microsoft any day because Microsoft worked for me. Like I say, I have a Microsoft computer, HP computer that's been working for me for 8 years. Never had a problem. Given it's 8 years, it starts to slow down. I start to see that, okay, this girl has had its time and it's only right that you replace her now. So I'm thinking, okay, since I'm getting more and more involved in these video editings that I do in my spare time, let's get a machine that's recommended as ideal for video making. So I opt for the Apple and thinking, okay, I could use it for my day-to-day business and also my YouTube hobby that I have. It has been disappointing. It is brand. You know, I've learned years ago, you know, you're never too old to learn. One of the most expensive cars that I've ever owned was a Jaguar S-Type. Beautiful car, plush with leather. Bought that when I lived in the United Kingdom. And I learned real quick, you know, for someone who probably standing outside of that car and see you driving by, it's a beautiful car. When I'm inside of it, after about having it for 2 weeks, I realized it's just a car. It works like any other car. And even though I had that car, I remember within the first 3 months of having that Jaguar S-Type, it was just problem after problem after problem. Kept going back to the dealership, kept having some brake fluid leakage that was, I mean, I was going through like 3 bottles of brake fluid per day. That's how bad that was. And this was supposed to be an expensive, top of the line vehicle. So, you know, name brand isn't necessarily better. Another experience I had once when I lived in Jamaica. I'm not a sneaker type person, you know. I'm more of a shoe wearing type guy, but I do know when sneakers are necessary to have. And I remember that I went to Halfway Tree in Jamaica once looking for a particular shoes, Nike or Puma, you know, and I couldn't find any that I really liked. And I saw this shoe, it was a sneaker, but it had no name. And it was a woman on the side of the road that was selling that sneakers. And I asked her how much was it, and she says 500. So this was like about 1/8 of the price that I intended to spend for sneakers. And I remember having this pair of shoes forever. You could have a train run over this pair of shoe. The shoe just could not be damaged. The heel would, I don't know what they used to put that sneaker together, but it wasn't regular glue. It just wasn't regular adhesive. That shoe was indestructible. And I'm telling you, I paid almost nothing for it. So I just had to put that in there, but it's all about this Apple Mac today that I'm talking about. And I'm just saying to my viewers and my subscribers, my recommendation is do not buy Apple Mac, because I've experienced nothing but headache with this computer. And to spend that kind of money, you should not be stressing like that. You should not be losing sleep. And the worst thing is, everybody that you talk to on the phone, everybody that you chat with on the support chat, they just giving you the runaround. They're giving you the runaround. I bought this Apple Mac directly from the Apple website. Therefore, well, I would believe you should be able to just pop into any Apple store and deal with it, but that has been a no-no for me. Every time I call a local Apple store and tell them about the issue, they say, well, you purchase it online. We cannot look at the device. We cannot take it. We cannot touch it. We can't do anything about it. So you're pretty much stuck with dealing with people online. And the online people are still telling me to try to contact a local store. I just want my money back. Just give me my money back. I send back your device and we're all good. Then I don't have to write a review and I don't have to have any bad thoughts about Apple and its product. The relationship between us and the Mac just didn't work out. I mean, I have a Apple 11 or 12. It works. I've never had any issue with it. I just think Apple iPhone, they update too much, and I'm suspect of what they're doing with your data despite all the privacy promises they make, but that's a different story. I just had to come here and just vent because, you know, this is my platform, and at the same time, on my channel, I teach people. So if I learn a lesson personally, it is only right that I come on my channel and share it with you guys. So before signing out, I'm going to say what I came here to say. Do not buy Apple Mac. It is overpriced, overrated, and it does not perform as you would expect. It's not value for money, put it like that. Usually, when I was growing up, the more expensive a particular thing is, the better quality it is and the better service it delivers. But now you can see that that is not so. Times have changed. And I've noticed that with not only computers, I've noticed that with clothes, I've noticed that with cars, I've noticed that with homes, I've noticed that with airline flights, I've noticed that with restaurant food. Expensive doesn't necessarily make better. So people, once again, do not buy Apple Mac. You've reached the end of my video, and that in itself is a support that I truly appreciate. Other ways that you can support this channel is by giving this video a thumbs up. But the most important way to support my channel is to hit that subscribe button so you do not miss out on any of my future uploads. The third way to support this channel is to go to my Teespring account and purchase in any of my merch. And the fourth way that you can support this channel is joining me in Patreon to give me a contribution to help me to do what I do here in YouTube. Once again, I want to thank all of you guys for checking out my video and ask that you continue to join me, Ian T. Sabas, here on YouTube to see where my journey takes me. Until next time, peace.